sorry. Bling bling. That volume level will be okay. Let's get this show on the road. 1992, 1994. Ooh. Is this me? Am I inside the zoo? The islands? I guess apparently we're playing the game, so here we go. We're playing the tool. Kids. Research center. Why are we walking up here? Searching, library. The rainforest. Nursery. Tours. Alright, let's go inside the zoo. Speed up ping. Yes, please, sure. Hey, Tolo. I can't go. I can't go. What's happening here? Is that just what inside the zoo is? The islands. I can get your messages. I see your message, Garox.
What? Don't talk to me. What's bad?
The islands. Thanks for the host, Chrono. The islands, maps. That's nice. You hear that audio? Hey, Pearly Gates. I did see your whispers the other day, and I replied back to you. Nothing today, though. Do we have videos or not? If we don't have videos, we're out. La 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 la. The library. Stories? Alright, what is this? Giant panda visits the zoo.
High in the rugged Chonglai Mountains of central China, a young farm worker raced across the
It's quiet, hold on.
potato fields toward home. I found a giant panda that is starving, she excitedly told her family and the other farm workers as she arrived at the village. The people knew they should help the suffering animal. This is because giant pandas are an unusual and rare species of bear living only in China's interior mountain ranges. Giant pandas are considered a national treasure of the People's Republic of China, and they are a critically endangered animal. Even one death would be a great loss to the species' survival. Immediately, the rescue began. The villagers dropped what they were doing and rushed to save the giant panda. They grabbed a large cage, some rope, and a long pole, then followed the young girl back across the fields and into a forest thick with towering fir, spruce, and maple trees. They crossed a raging stream and entered an area, Bassi Gully, that was covered with dying patches of bamboo as far as they could see. Near the bamboo and partly submerged in the stream lay a young giant panda. It was barely alive. The farm worker and the villagers quickly pulled the animal from the water. They dried it with their jackets. The dull eyes of the panda gazed up at the girl as it panted for breath. Several other rescuers lifted the panda into the cage. The long pole was tied to the top of the cage, making it easy for the villagers to carry the panda out of the forest. 2 men, one at each end, balanced the pole on their shoulders so that the cage
I sent you a
dangled
whisper,
between them.
Candy.
Then they
I
brought the
got the
panda back to their
message.
rescue station.
I sent it to
There,
you.
The starving
It's
panda,
on your
a
end.
female
You gotta
that was named
unblock
Bassi
it.
after the gully in which she was found, was nursed back to health. Bassi was starving because the bamboo was dying in various regions of China.
Is anyone else
Bamboo
having
leaves,
problems
shoots,
getting
and
the
stalks
whispers
are
from the
giant
bot?
panda's main food.
I just sent one
Although
to
they will also
Garox.
eat
Did
meat,
you get it?
Pandas are usually too slow to catch the rats, squirrels, and other small mammals that share their forest habitat. Like everything else, it is normal for bamboo to die, usually dying about every 40 to 100 years. Before it dies, the bamboo, which is really a woody grass, flowers. Then it drops seeds, so new bamboo can sprout. Several years must pass, though, before the seeds grow into tall new bamboo plants that the giant pandas can eat. Years ago, when the bamboo died in one area, the giant panda could travel easily to a different mountain to find more living bamboo. But now, new farms and villages often block their way, so many pandas simply starve to death in withered bamboo patches. Then, too, many forests and bamboo thickets have been destroyed to build these farms and villages. The villagers were pleased that they had saved Bassi's life. After she fully regained her strength at the giant panda rescue station, the Chinese government decided that she would not be returned to the wild. Instead, she would live at the Fuzhou Zoo. She and a male giant panda named Yan Yan were later chosen to go to the United States as goodwill ambassadors to help many people learn about the endangered status of the giant panda. The lucky zoo chosen to host Bassi and Yan Yan was the San Diego Zoo in California. When San Diego Zoo staff heard that the giant pandas were coming to visit, the excitement began. Giant pandas had never been in San Diego before. Indeed, a lot of people were thrilled that the world's most famous zoo would be the temporary home for a pair of one of the world's most popular animals. When the giant pandas arrived in San Diego, a lot of excited people greeted them. Even reporters and photographers were there. More than 50 waited eagerly as Bassi and Yan Yan arrived in a huge airplane after a 17-hour flight from China. Everyone waited breathlessly as the airplane's cargo hatch opened. Bassi and Yan Yan had traveled in their own private compartment, complete with heating and air conditioning.
It's a nice
The
story,
photographers
but
leapt off
I
the
want to
bus
watch the
and raced toward the
videos.
jet. High above the clicking cameras sat Bassie and Yen Yen in their travel cages, peering down at the excited, grinning crowd. The giant pandas were here, at last. A few days after Bassie and
Skip.
Yen Yen arrived, zoo roosters crowed, peacock...
Yep, we're done. We don't want to be in story mode. No. No. Go away. How do we get out of this? No stories. Is there just like a list of all the videos? Library. Movies. Oops. Okay, hit C. No, those are sounds. No, 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 no. We're just downloading our SegaCD game. Hold on. Well, while we're here, let's listen to some bald eagles. What else we got? Some baboons. Oh, here's that lion for you.
Sick little monkey.
The fate of billions will depend upon you. Sorry.
What's up, go bro? Good evening. Alright, loading up the movies. I demand FMVs! Here we go. Are these all the videos? Oh man, we got a lot to go through. Alright, let's do this. Start from the top. Hey there, Tolo. Tolo's here, GoBro's here, Gickman's here, Arthur's here, Garox is here. We get the whole gang. Sun Baby is so thrilled to be at the zoo. I have the volume maxed out. No, Candy just hangs out with the bots.
The white animals with the long straight horns.
And bots need friends too.
They were once almost completely extinct in the wild after World War II. The few animals that were remaining were captured. Since then, we've had over 150 births of the Arabian oryx, and as a result, we've been able to help reintroduce this animal back into its native homeland, places like Jordan and Oman.
it's a very gratifying experience for everybody to be involved in that project, because there are so few species that are in peril today that will be able to be released back into the wild. Not because no one is breeding that particular animal, because there's no wild to be returned back into.
The urgency of the park's mission is amplified by scientific estimates that at least one species of plant or animal vanishes from the wild every day, and that number will grow to 1 per hour by the end of this century.
Yeah, well, we're playing a game about animals, so I figured, I guess Capamon can get in the spirit, turn into a balloon animal, and there you go. But all we have is complaints in chat. This is why we can't have fun things.
That's perfect.
We can have elephants, though. We might be able to see Rhino in his, like, original habitat. But we're on bears. Bears!
New arrivals are a major event at the zoo for the animals and people.
Those are people.
This is the first day for these Chinese bears to be on exhibit. Now, as you can see, they're very anxious to make their debut here at the San Diego Zoo. They've been in quarantine for the past month. So you kids get out there and knock them dead, okay?
I think I went to a zoo and there were some bears and they were, you know, making baby bears. The black rhino romp. Are we gonna allow to show this on Twitch? That's it?
Rhino! Rhino! Oh my God! Rhino cornered everyone in sight! Nobody's safe!
That's it. What's up, Rhino? Apparently everybody's safe, because the rhino just ran off. Like a babby rhino.
Would you like to touch my monkey?
You don't need a puppet to feed your baby bird. Please. We down in Florida now. Oh shit, look at him strut his stuff. Hey, look at me! Bird sampler. Cheetah.
Cheetahs are very sensitive animals. They're difficult to breed in captivity. We have approximately 12 acres here set aside for the cheetahs. The reason that the breeding program is important to the cheetah population is cheetahs are an endangered species. They're very difficult to breed in captivity, and it's important to just keep the species going.
The cheetah is the world's fastest runner, able to reach speeds as high as 70 miles an hour. But ironically, it's almost been overtaken by extinction, a victim of poachers after its beautiful coat, and significant loss of its habitat to human civilization.
We've had one of the better success rates in the country. In captivity, as we're learning more about these animals, I think we'll be able to do a better job of reproducing them.
Thank you. Thank you for that information. Thank you. I'll just write that down in my notebook. Dickman, you want like sound and music? Then you can't hear the videos. And you can't learn. This is a teaching tool, not a game.
That's what we're here for, to make their day better. While we're here, we do the best we can to make it different.
Hope everyone's
exciting,
writing notes.
A nice place to be. What we've got
I
here is
might
holes drilled in the log, which they have to
toss
use
out,
their
you know, a
fingers
pop
and
quiz.
sticks to work on to get the sunflower seeds and raisins, which lengthens the time that it takes for them to eat their food. If they're eating, they're not bored. It's basically what these animals would be doing if they were in the wild, would be foraging, which is looking for food and eating. So this is just one way that we can come close to attempting to duplicate the situation as it would be for them if they were living in the wild.
Chimps. Chinese golden monkeys.
A pair of Chinese golden monkeys were loaned to the San Diego Zoo for a 5.5-month period beginning in November 1984. These animals were part of an exchange program with the Chengdu Zoo and had never before been exhibited outside of China. Their behavioral staff at the San Diego Zoo, with the help of Dr. Richard Tanaza from the University of the Pacific, took this rare opportunity to study the behavior of these unique primates. This videotape will show some of the most interesting behaviors that we observed during this study. Social grooming was frequently performed by these animals.
Embrace the
on
monkeys,
exhibit.
Candy.
Unlike most other primates, the female groomed the male.
They just want
during
a
only
hug.
about 20% of the total grooming sequences. Lip-smacking gestures were often made by the male during grooming. This is a behavior not usually observed in other langur species. The thumb of the golden monkey is quite small compared to the large forefinger used by the male to sort through his partner's fur during grooming. The female usually groomed the male only after he had mounted or groomed her first, although the duration of these grooming bouts were about the same as that of the males. In this feeding sequence, the pair is giving a duet call after the male attempts to grab some browse away from the female.
Oh! Mean.
The female just made a vocalization which appears to be an alarm call. This is the only call she makes that is always accompanied by an open mouth and some facial movement. The golden monkeys occasionally threaten visitors with stares and forward-leaning movements. These threat patterns are very similar to that of the Duklangers of Vietnam.
All right. That was interesting. Oh, look at that cutie. Have a good night, Kickman.
Good night, stupid.
See you later.
They have to take care of their feet first and foremost. And captive elephants don't walk anywhere near as far as wild elephants, so they don't get the natural wear and tear on the feet. These are the nails of the elephant's rear feet, and the cuticles where the sweat glands are real important to keep them clean, not overgrown, and not dirty and not rotten, of course. Keep the nails high and keep them flat, clean. And trimming off some of the excess pad, it gets a few holes in it, and it starts to get debris build up there. So we trim it down so it's nice and flat.
Okay. Amazing. Mingling. Oh yes, a bird sampler. Here we go. These are freaking creepy birds right here. Five-second videos. Yeah. We've seen that one already. Thanks, though. And that one. Are we gonna get the full-blown peacock again? Yep. Dun 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 dun! Marvelous. Food warehouse. UPS is here.
Got some crickets for you today. Great.
In addition to 700,000 crickets, the zoo's elegant dining selection includes 20 tons of bananas, 150,000 pounds of seafood, 60 tons of meat, plus other delicacies, such as over 1 million mealworms. And that's just a fraction of the zoo's annual grocery list.
There's mealworms, there's ground dog food with trout chow, a mixture of seed.
As you can see, their food is kind of squishy, so they do get the hard bone to chew on to keep those pearly whites nice and clean and sharp.
Each panda gets a cup of this a day. If you were a health food nut, you could probably eat it yourself because it contains everything in it that you would ever need. And it tastes good. It does.
The quality you see
Yum.
here is what we get every day. We get it shipped in twice a week to keep it fresh, to make sure it's turned over. It's the same quality you get at home.
Wait, what animal's eating the corn? The tortoise. He's massive. That guy probably is still roaming the lands today.
How old these guys might be?
50 million.
No.
Well,
We don't actually know how old these guys are.
Remember, folks, if you go slow, you live forever.
There has long been a controversy regarding the panda's heritage. Dr. Ollie Ryder is the San Diego Zoo geneticist.
It was first named as a bear. Therein, after other people looked at the material, basically an analysis of the skull, of the hands and so forth, and there was some differences of opinion about really whether it was a bear or not. The one group of experts would say, well, it's clearly more raccoon-like.
150-year-old turtle?
More bear-like. Now,
Aww.
when you look where they fall on the family trees of carnivores, they fall smack dab with the bears.
Because their habitat is shrinking in the wild, the giant panda is highly endangered. A massive die-off of their main food, bamboo, has left many pandas sick or starving. As a result, the Chinese government has set aside 11 preserves to protect their national treasure. Scientists are redoubling their efforts to find ways to save them. We are all involved in the effort.
We connect with these animals perhaps more uniquely than with some others. But that connection, we simply don't want to lose. We don't want our children to lose that connection. And so that's reason enough, because we're now in charge. It's up to us whether these animals survive or not.
To many of the millions of visitors to the San Diego Zoo, the panda's 6-month visit was much too short. As Fosse, Yen Yen, and their keepers board their United Airlines flight to Beijing, we all hope that these living symbols of the world's endangered species will be able to return for future generations.
They just want to keep all the pandas to themselves. Stop picking on Starstorm. He's a classy dude. Here comes the giraffes. Baby. Baby antics. That was kind of disappointing. Kangaroos. Yum, 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 yum. The great horned owl. What a hoot. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Stop looking at me. Whoa! Nice iguana.
Topiary is the art of shaping plants into geometric or animal forms. It draws attention to the animals, it draws attention to the plants as well, and it shows another whole dimension of what plants can do here at the zoo.
Like animal balloons, guys. Same thing. You little pink birdies, you. This is the third video, the third of this fucking little, I don't know, bird mixer, bird sampler. Oh, here we go, rhino, Indian rhinos. Hope it's a lot better than the last one. Nope.
In bird culture, this is considered a dick move.
All right, when it's getting good and they cut it. Animal tidbits.
And he is the only albino koala that's ever been born in captivity.
Doing just like all rhinos, just sitting there eating. Are you new, Lester, to the Sega CD? This is FMVs for ya. Welcome to the 90s. The koalas are greeting you. Hello! And Grandma too. Yeah, some of these, they should have just put little There's little clips of music in some of these. The ones that don't have like anything going on in them. That would be nice. Then they couldn't fit all 60 minutes of video. An albino. Cockatoo? Oh, babies! Bin of chicks. Hell yeah. Lion-tailed, huh? Some hot monkey action. Damn, looking good, son. Looks like I don't even know what that looks like. Whatever that fucking head is, it looks like it's on the body of a dog.
There's something very important I forgot to tell you. What? Don't cross the streams. Why? It would be bad.
Thank you for the hose, Parabolic. But it's nap time, everyone.
Night, Gordon.
It's just like in the wild. When the mom puts their baby in the crib.
My closest attachment has been with some of the gorillas and some of the orangs some time back. Alvila, the female that's over there now, I gave her her first bottle back in the 60s when she was born. After she was born, I went over to the children's zoo that night, and they had a little bit of liquid that wanted me to get down her. And she started to go to sleep. I'd pinch her foot just a little bit. She'd wake up and take a couple of drinks and go to sleep, and I worked through the night that way. And by the time the children's zoo person come in the next morning, she'd taken the fluid. Well, I kind of feel close to Alvila.
First one I saw when I started working here was his mother, and she was 2. I've waited 20 years for this. I think he's pretty good.
Gorilla Tropics. Nice hat. That was a very shriveled up little monkey. Gorilla. Sun bear. They should show the signs on like all of the videos. Yum yum.
Yeah, and then he didn't go because he had to come in here.
Delicious kids. Don't throw those ecto coolers in there, no! Oh, we're back to the emu. Peacock for days. No, there was a few peacocks next door here. A little farm or something next door. Growing up here. I don't know if they still have them. They had peacocks, ducks, bunch of chickens. And what else? Llamas. Yes, they had two big giant ass llamas. I think that was the fourth time they played that. What are you looking at? Llamas are like the size of like a horse. Just with a smaller neck and a smaller face. Longer neck and a smaller face. And they like to spit. And they really do. That's not a myth. What's up, Hippo? I was hoping you'd be able to check this lovely, animal encyclopedia teaching tool. Please, no more. No more sampler, please. There'll probably be at least 2 more. I think that's a video of a stilled photo.
Well, do you think she wants them on her hard-to-clean feathers? She wants them on her easy-to-clean skin, and that's why come too close to her. And that's why I'm asking you to stay exactly where you are.
Eat it! Eat it! Ed, he just ate. He doesn't want your stick. What a sexy ass polar bear pose.
You jackass!
Mama being squished here. A little help? No? Okay.
It's a privilege to be able to have a part to play in preserving an animal as magnificent as the Przewalski horse, or as a tapir, or as a gorilla or orangutan, or almost any of the species you can see here at the zoo. These are part of the treasure of biological resources of our planet, and they've been on the verge of extinction, and now they're coming back. And the most fantastic thing would be able to participate in seeing that they go back into nature. That's really one of the big goals.
without zoos and without game preserves, certain animals will disappear. Because I believe in some years to come there really won't be wild animals. They will be managed in some way or other. I like to be part of that.
The world to me would be a very, very lonely place if we were the only species inhabiting it. And at the rate of extinction of species, which is about one a day right now, and by the year 2000 maybe one a minute, and those are rather accurate projections, we might be the last species, and indeed then we may ourselves be in jeopardy as our habitats become so imperiled by human activity.
We have a tremendous opportunity to allow people to see the diversity, the wonders of different types of life that exist on this planet, and thereby we hope to let them come to appreciate this more and to participate more actively in saving the wildlife, saving the forms of plants and animals that are in danger on our planet.
Beautiful. Don't forget the rhinos. It's raining and everything. Wow. Do not show the Do not show the peacock, please. Oh shit.
I'm going to climb a mountain here.
Hi Binary, how many videos of peacocks have we seen so far?
We have over 420 species of birds, 1,800 individuals, which takes a lot of constant care and a lot of attention, a lot of observation time. We try to design exhibits to best mimic the natural setting of the animal, to take into consideration the reproductive needs of the animal, the dietary needs of the animal. So now, instead of the old cement and wire, we look at cement, wire, and everything else. And everything else is the trick. The philosophy is trying to balance the need of the public, the viewing public, with the need of the animal.
Slash Tangent, thank you for the host. Welcome, welcome. How was your baseball?
N64, N64, PlayStation 1 times 64.
Tough ass bird. A true howler. Sounds like you kicked their ass, Tangent. You're a true baseman. Oh, look at the baby. He fought on his face. See why I made it such a big deal about full screen FMV on Tomcat Alley?
Very good. Very good bear. Hi. You like your belly scratched?
Okay.
Next.
Oh no! So far.
So far. He escaped the zoo. I don't know, do people speedrun teaching tools? I don't know. I doubt it. It's a rhino. It's a rhino. Look, he's eating. Greens, salad. The real stuff. What are they doing? Oh, they fell asleep. Aww. Tiger River. Oh man, Teasel, you must be really new. You play Genesis games, man. Genesis, 32X, Sega CD, Sega Channel exclusives. You haven't seen a single Genesis game? Yeah. There's not 900 Sega CD games. Just throwing that out there. And yeah, we've already played Panic.
Efforts to breed the southern white rhino have produced history-making results.
If you look way out toward the middle of the enclosure, you'll see another southern white rhino out there with a little baby. He just turned 7 weeks old. He's a real feisty little guy, too. I've seen him out here chasing the zebra sometimes. And when the zebras chase back, he just runs back and gets mom.
The park's prolific herd of white rhinos has helped remove these animals from the roster of endangered species.
The white rhino. What's up, Snake? The white tiger. Welcome to Twitch, Teasel. If you'd like to take our course in Twitch 101, feel free to sign up after class. Just hop in our Discord, and we can teach you the ropes and how things are done.
We really concentrated initially on bringing together as many endangered species as possible in this park. Because of the amount of room that was available, we felt that we could do justice in a breeding program by keeping larger numbers of animals.
When I first came to the park, I realized it was really special, but it wasn't until I traveled to Africa and saw the animals living in the wild, and they were doing the exact same things in the wild that they do here. So coming to work here is a privilege. To me, this is a hobby I get paid for.
That's a nice truck. There you go, you got your giraffe and everything.
Each species represents different habits and needs, characteristics critical to survival. The park staff has to know what all those different needs are and how to meet them. In the case of finicky diets, it can mean going out and growing your own.
Okay, this is acacia browse that is native to Africa. We grow it here at the Wild Animal Park so that we can cut it fresh every day for the animals. It's used not as a primary source of nutrition, but more as a supplement for the animals.
I mentioned the feeder tree out there. The keepers put alfalfa in the basket, and then they hang fresh acacia browse from the limbs every day for the giraffe. That's generally how giraffe feed. They do feed from the treetops.
So they cut the tree down and then haul it up another tree.
Unfortunately, a lot of the wild habitats of many species are disappearing for various reasons, population explosions and what have you. So we may be one of the last bastions of survival for some of these species.
We try to do the park on a geographical basis. of the animals you see together are animals that you would see within a certain geographical area. And of course, we have to give ourselves some liberty and be a little bit flexible. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to put as many things together because they don't all occur, for example, in the same country, but they do occur within a geographical area, a landmass.
Bum, 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 bum. Zoo babies.
Here you go. Yep. Now, how's my Barbara? How are you today? Change your diapers over here, okay? Gotta cut a hole for your tail. Get it, don't go anywhere. There you go. You can't help but feel like a mom. You know, you're here every day, 5 days a week, for how many years? A number of years, and you can't help but take care and wonder how they're doing, if they're doing well, and that attachment, that fondness that you have for your animals in your care, can't help but make you have that maternal feeling, whether you're male or female, you know.
Well, isn't that sweet?
There's a lot of times I go through the zoo and a week will go by and I think to myself, you know, I haven't even noticed any animals around me because I don't pay attention to the animals as much.
Just as spectacular and exotic as the zoo's animals are its more than 7,000 species of plants collected from around the world since the zoo's earliest days.
During the 30s, Dr. Harry made, I think, 3 trips around the world and then a complete trip of South America. And he collected seeds on all of these trips and came back and brought them back to the zoo. A lot of these things wouldn't grow. Some of them didn't, but a lot of them did. And so that's why we have the start of the botanical collection that's in the zoo.
A copy is a rock outcropping. It's from the grass area of Central Africa. So there are certain animals that live in that type of environment. We've taken the same type of plant life that would be in that in the copy and adapt it to this exhibit here.
Like the African copy, more and more zoo exhibits in the future will combine plants, mammals, birds, and reptiles in complete environments that replicate their native habitats. It was the presence of these animals that first sparked the idea of a San Diego zoo. A collection left over from the 1916 World's Fair, the animals faced an uncertain future until the roar of a lion captured the attention and the imagination of a passing motorist, Dr. Harry Wegeforth.
He was going downtown with his brother Paul. My dad commented, he said, somebody ought to start a zoo. And Paul said, why don't you? And that was the gist of it.
And start a zoo he did. Dr. Harry, recognized today as one of the pioneers of the modern zoos in America, formed what is now the largest non-profit zoological society in the world, and a zoological park that continues to enchant millions of visitors every year. The zoo's hospital complex houses the important work of a team of researchers, veterinarians, and animal keepers.
We have probably the most diverse, multi-talented program of any zoo in the world, bringing scientific disciplines to bear on the needs of these animals. I'm director of research in the Center of Reproduction of Endangered Species, which is the zoo's research department. which aims to get all the knowledge necessary to establish self-sustaining populations of endangered species in captivity, with the hope that ultimately we return some of these animals to the wild, provided there is a wild preserved habitat for them. We interact, of course, with the curators and with the clinical veterinarians. The curators will actually provide us access to the animals. If we're investigating infectious disease problems, the veterinarians are the first to bring these to our attention, and then also again provide us the sample materials necessary in the laboratory to identify the disease in question, which is causing a health problem.
What's the scenario going to be for the hospital?
What's up, Nichols?
Springbuck to do first, then the munchak.
The animals stole them.
Okay, and the deal with those guys is just regular processing because we want to give them their physical exams and TB test them and take some specimens for some investigative studies for mycobacterial infections.
These are lion-tailed macaques, which come from India, and it's one of the most endangered of the macaque species. There are probably only about 1,000 of them left in existence in the wild. There are several zoos that have them in captive breeding programs, and we're one of them, and I think we have one of the largest collections of any in captivity.
One lion-tailed macaque offers an inspiring example of human and animal determination.
Kim is 3 years old, and he has cerebral palsy. He lived with his mother for about 13 months, and then we had to separate him from his mom because she was nursing him, and her milk was no longer nutritious enough to sustain him. And we started hand feeding him, and we still do that. We hand feed him twice a day. He's doing quite well. During the time that we've been hand feeding him, he's gained about 3.5 pounds. In the wild, an animal like Kim, an animal diagnosed with cerebral palsy, would not survive. Kim cannot climb, and in the wild, these animals spend about 80% of their time in the trees. So just the fact that he couldn't climb would definitely have killed him. And we have physical therapists who come in and work with him. We also do exercises with him in an attempt to get him to move better. When we first pulled him away from his mom, he couldn't even use his back legs. He simply dragged them behind him. And now he can walk as well as run. So one of the things that we've done for Kim is we've built this special ramp in the cage. This ramp starts down at the bottom and goes up to the nest box, which is a sleeping area for the animals at night. And Kim now can climb up and sleep with the animals in the nest box. He gets along quite well socially in the group. I think on some level they sense that he has a handicap. The other animals respect him.
The animals respect. They respect. So they're fighting against natural. We're on Z, of course. Zoo.
It used to be that when people wanted another giraffe or another rhinoceros, they could simply go to the wild. They could buy them animal from an animal dealer who obtained it from the wild. Now that's no longer the case. In the last year, just the last year, half the rhinoceroses on the planet have disappeared. They're disappearing entirely. If they're going to persist something is going to have to be done. Zoos for some of these species may be able to play a role, a small role in preserving some species so that they can be reintroduced to habitats in the future. The Przewalski horse behind me here is an example. This is a species that's extinct in the wild. If this species is going to persist on our planet, we're going to have to breed it successfully, because all the Przewalski horses in the world come from only 13 animals that came from the wild. We have to be very careful about the breeding of these animals so that we don't get them unnecessarily inbred, and so that we avoid genetic diseases and factors like this. And this is true for many other species besides the Przewalski horse.
You're very observant, Teasel. Yes, it is a cage behind me. Yes. Did you go to the zoo? Did you learn things? Well, we have a Nico bird. What are you doing down there? Nico bird. I don't know. Just doing Nico things.
Two adults, 2 children.
Bus, nursery, sky ride both ways, and an apple park. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Are you, little bird? She's hiding. It's Nico the cockatiel. Gonna run away now.
Morning, Barbara. How are you? Oh, you're so wide awake. Morning.
Barbara.
It's hours before the first visitors arrive. A time for morning greetings and the day's first meal.
We'll look at these animals and we see an animal that sleeps up to 20 hours a day, and it's kind of difficult to recognize that an animal that sleeps that much can actually have a personality, but they really do. They're very unique animals too, and so they're really fascinating. They're actually marsupials rather than bears. A lot of times people call them bears. That probably originated because they look sort of like teddy bears.
Bears. Waking up. Oh, are we out of movies? I think we're out of movies. We got pictures and maps. Under maps. Oh. Map of the rainforest. Thanks. The grasslands. We're learning, we're learning. Animals alphabetical? That sounds like an amazing thing. Action alerts. You can help. What you can do. I think everything else is like just text. Got some pictures maybe. We did have those stories, but oh my god. Stories? I don't think we're gonna sit through the stories. If they had movies to go with them. Okay, whatever I clicked on, this is huge. There's gotta be something good in here. Call them up? So I was playing your animal San Diego Zoo. Said to call this number. There is some videos in here. There are endangered animals, unless these are replays. Oh, there's only a few. Oh yeah, these are just replays. We've seen them. Look at that. Cheetah. I'm not falling for that. Gray whale spy hopping. Oh, it's marvelous. I mean, the pictures are a little better than the little grainy videos. Pretty decent looking quality. No cockatiels, no. Hi, how you doing? Look at this. Moto Dragon. Oh ho! Aw. Oh, whoops. Okay, yeah, sure. We'll look at them. Having a lovely time. How about those red-tailed hawks? Like fun, it's like Where's Waldo? Whoa! Oh, that's a tail. Songbird. Beep beep. Rawr. Zebras? I think someone wanted to see the zebras. Those could be just normal horses, we don't know. Green grass. Oh yeah, it's wonderful. With the side of elephant.
Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
Spiders. What's up, Blarigan? It says colorful. Let's see how colorful. Ooh, what's up, Flames? Howdy. A water buffalo. In their natural habitat of water. They live in the water, they breathe underwater. I think they make babies underwater. Wolverines. Looks about right. Pink green. Okay. Anything else? Any other cool things we should be looking at? Acknowledgements. Get the pictures. Let's see what else there was. That was the library. And search for things. Let's see what's over here. No, let's not go in there. What's in the old tundra? Exploring the tundra. Am I stuck in here? Oh, for free. You can basically just go to different pictures. Alright, we found the penguins. Let's leave. Oh, the tundra volcano? More items. The fox. It's some kind of elk of some kind? Maybe? Alright, how do we leave? How do we get out of here? Library. Go back. There's always an escape. A parking lot. Wait, what's this? Oh shit. Can we go? Animals in disguise? Cat tour? Critters? Major animals? Facts or fable? Now let's check out this. What is this all about? Sticky fingers. That's it? Well, what does it say? Introduction. Wouldn't it be fun to be invisible? If you'd like to meet a few animals in disguise? Join me as we visit 7 experts in hiding in the wild. Our tour will take about 5 minutes. And remember, you can leave the tour at any of the stops to learn more about particular animals. Five minutes, you say, huh? That's it? Okay, we're out. They weren't lying. Because. And they're not in sacks. We've already seen this. Touring the zoo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've seen all the videos. The zoo's mission. Oh, there you go, Rhino. A wonderful portrait. You think there's supposed to be narration? Like in these? I think so. I'm up here. Maybe they're not included. Maybe it got stripped from this version. Fact or fable? Another touring the zoo video. It's probably these videos. Watch, it's probably these little videos.
2 adults, 2 children.
These.
Bus, nursery, sky ride both ways, and a map of the park. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Is this a different video? I remember seeing some of those. The camel? Oh, yep, a drop of frames. Okay. What was in the islands? Alright. Seen enough islands. Search. Nice. Antelope. They're glorious islands. How long does it take to search for antelope? Too long. Look at them horns. Damn, look at that ass. We couldn't leave the zoo without checking out the antelope. Just wouldn't be fair. Terrific twins. The white stuff. Oh, I see what they did there. Unicorn? Unicorn? Oh, they do exist. Young and ready. Yeah. Easy breeders. Wait, that's the unicorn picture. The elk in the snow. Hidden herd. Well, it's extra hidden in those pixels. Long legs. Kirks. Are Kirks the one with the those weird mouths? Well, I fucking backed out. Whatever. We're good. You're not making it up? Lunar babies? Lunar babies. Alright, I think that's it. I think we're out of here. Alright guys, did everyone have fun at the zoo? Long day at the zoo. Let's go back to the hotel and rest up, and tomorrow we'll go to Disneyland. So loud, I'm sorry.